Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and this is officially casted game number 100. Oh, please, stop everyone. You're embarrassing me. No, but in all seriousness, guys, thank you so much. It's been such a fun journey, whether you've been here from the beginning or the middle or yesterday. Yeah, I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to do 100 more. But I wanted to make sure that this recorded game was at least a little bit special, and I was in the midst of despair because I wasn't finding much out of the ordinary, and that is when Turgon, good old Turgon from the Free Food Party Discord, uploaded this recorded game, and the minute I saw the ranks of the two players going head-to-head, I knew that I had to cast it, because this could be one of the biggest upsets in channel history if one particular player emerges victorious. So let's dive into those players. In the top of the map, playing in the color blue, as the Italians, we have Suhope. Now, I don't really know that name. Could be a Smurf. Feel like I gotta say that with every game nowadays because everybody changes their name every 6 minutes. But I believe he is one of the players from our Chinese community, and very, very good. I think he's rank 108 when I was recording this video. It could have changed by the time this actually comes out because I'm recording some stuff early, but certainly very, very solid player. Yeah, no shade there. But he is going up against rank number uno. Currently, the number one player on the leaderboard. It is the infamous Revnak. Now, disclaimer, I am not a Revnak fan, but I can't deny that the dude is incredibly skilled at the game, and he's one of the best to ever do it. Now, personality-wise, he is not my cup of tea, and yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But the guy is certainly an incredible challenge for any player, let alone somebody 107 ranks below him. So we'll have to see. Will Suhope emerge victorious? I have no idea. I don't know how long Revnak has been playing Aztec. I think, honestly, this is kind of the new trend for him because he does have this history of, like, finding the best civ in the game and then just kind of, you know, laming it as long as it is the best civ in the game. I mean, he did that with Italy. He did that with USA. He's kind of did that with Brits. He did it a little bit with France when the 12-10 meta was really hot. And now it seems like he's doing it with Aztecs because they are, I think in most players' opinions, the best civ currently in the game. And they might be the best civ forever, depending on what happens with the patches. But if we take a look, oh, no, wrong deck. If we take a look at Revnak's deck, this actually, ooh, this really reminds me of like a Kinesi Warrior Priest boom deck, which would not surprise me because as far as I know, Revnak and Kinesi play each other a lot, might even be on friendly terms. And so the fact that Revnak is basing his Aztec off of Kinesi, who has been playing Aztec forever, that would be actually pretty likely. But he is going up with the fast age up. Man, he is going to be up very quickly with the messenger before the 3-minute 40 mark. And he's already sent 3 villagers. And let's see what he sends. Is he going to send the 3 warrior priests? Is he going full Kinesi mode? Yes, he is. Okay, so this just feels like Kinesi's boom, if I'm being perfectly honest. And there is the big button. The Prowler Knights are going to come out. So this is something I don't usually see Kinesi do. He doesn't really go in for early pressure. But these 4 Prowler Knights, I mean, they could do some damage. They could harass some villagers. Let's take a look at Suhope's base. Now, he is playing Italy, which is going to make it much easier for him to keep everything localized, keep everything nice and tight by the TC. He is getting the market, the Lombard, the house. That must have been his opening. And now already going for the second Lombard as well. Shipped Capitalism as his first card and is just over halfway aged with the governor. So yeah, I mean, a huge advantage in age up time for Revnak. Nice bit of micro there, getting his guys into cover mode, which is going to save this one from being killed by the TC. Gonna get some good bell up time. 18 bills for Suhope, 16 for Revnak, and now he is sending the 5 villagers. So it is going to really tighten that villager gap that was previously there. And let's see what Revnak sends next. I'm wondering, what has he got his warrior priests on? He's got them on, okay, so he's got them on the Warrior Priest Dance. And then I'm sure when he gets to the full 10, he'll probably go to XP so that he can get a lot of these juicy shipments rolling in, like his 600 coin, his 700 wood. Maybe he'll go for the 2 War Huts and go for a very aggressive forward base. But meanwhile, Suho playing very, very standard Italy here. We do see the 200 coin and the outpost. Obviously, Italy built for age 3, if not age 4. And that is what his deck is saying. He even called his Minutemen there, which, I don't know. Were the Minutemen necessary for these couple of Jaguar Knights? I don't feel like it was. I mean, obviously, it's going to buy his villagers more time to gather up, but I wonder, are those Minutemen going to be far more needed later on? Because if, Revnak is not going to push in age 2, you almost think that he's going to go for some sort of big timing in age 3, maybe with a huge mass of Jaguar Prowler Knights. Maybe he goes Coyote, maybe he goes full-on Taunt and Slingers, but we'll have to see. Meanwhile, it looks like Ephizi is coming in for Suhope. Yeah, that's what it is. Uffizi, not Ephizi. And that Basilica Wagon, it does cover so much area, doesn't it? And I like where he placed it. This is going to kind of protect this flank. It's going to make it really hard for all of those Aztec infantry to run around and especially get at his coin mine, which he's going to need if he's going to try to get all the way up to age 4, which, I mean, his deck does kind of indicate it. And then also sending Monte di Pieta, so he's going to improve those Lombards and getting up a lot of Lombards as well. 1, 2, 3 Lombards now going up. That's going to be 5 in total. And I kind of like how he's shielding them with the houses here because Aztec, a lot of their siege potential is in their infantry. And so kind of protecting them with these houses is actually kind of a smart move. I like it. Minutemen, ooh, are they going to get a Vil kill here? Okay, if he gets this Vil kill, then the Minutemen will be worth it. Nice move by Revnak. He's trying to pick off those Minutemen who are at 1 HP, but they are going to get the Vil, which that does make them entirely worth it. So 300 resources, it bought him time, and it also killed a villager. So a really nice use of his Minutemen there. I feel like a lot of players would just let them sit in their TC and then eventually die when some sort of push came. But way to be proactive. Suho actually playing this pretty well. He's staying very tight-knit in his base, which as Italy is kind of what you need to do. He's getting up his Lombards. He's playing very standard, and his timing is quite good as well. He's going up to age 3 before the 7-minute 20 mark, which means he's probably going to be up around 8 minutes with the bishop. So he's going to have the extra town center as well. The economic potential for Italy is going to be quite good. Meanwhile, if we take a look at Revnak here, he does have the full 10 warrior priests, and they are doing the XP dance, which is giving him 10 XP per second, which is just insane. Look at how fast this is going up for Aztec. I mean, it looks slow for people that don't know about, XP curve in AoE 3, but for somebody who knows what they're looking at, that is incredibly fast. And he sent the 600 coin. I believe he did, right? Yeah, he sent 600 coin, and he sent 700 wood as well. And now he's sending Kalmakak, which means the next council member okay, so it's the fast stage up, right? Every civ has like a different version of that card, and it's always hard for me to tell which ones are which. But in come the Prowler Knights. There is the extra outpost there, so a little bit more defensive fire. But again, Revnak, really good micro here, keeping those guys in cover mode. Nice use of Marco Di Beccaria, who is putting down some extra fire. And nice job driving them away, because the TC wagon could have been forced to put itself down in a very awkward position, but it's going to be able to get out on this coin mine and could even potentially get this herd of giraffes and maybe even this trading post. So I like that TC placement. Now, is it within range of the other TC? That's what I'm kind of interested to see. It might be. I think it is, actually, yeah. So I think you'll be able to reinforce, both of these areas quite well. And it's just going to make it very hard for all of those Aztec infantry to maneuver through this base and actually get at the villagers. But now look at that. We're seeing the 9 Jaguar Prowler Knights coming in for Revnak. 2 Noble Huts going down as well. And look at this, an additional 8 Prowler Knights. This is going to be a huge push of melee infantry from Revnak. And let's see, Suhope, rank 108 versus rank 1. Will he be able to hold out? He's wisely using his outposts and his TC fire. He doesn't have Minutemen here, but he could call Minutemen from this second TC. Wisely not putting in additional villagers. He only has enough to put down max damage, and he wants to keep all of the other villagers working working as efficiently as possible. Minutemen coming out, but they're not going to be able to kite very well, and those Prowler Knights are going to be able to make contact. Maybe if they had popped out on this side of the TC, they would not have been caught as easily. Muskets coming out as well, but look at this huge mass of Prowler Knights coming out from Revnak. That's 21 Prowler Knights. These guys were just the appetizer, and the main course has arrived. I hope you like it spicy, Suhope, because these Prowler Knights will show no mercy. Now, these guys do have, pretty decent siege, 36 for a melee infantry, though I will point out that Revnak did lose his war chief, so that buff is not going to be available. And the fact that he's gone pure Prowler Knights might actually pose a problem here because, oh my god, Suhope just got into age 4. That's why he didn't have any military units. I was thinking in the back of my head, why is he only getting out these little batches of musketeers? Where are the big batches? Where are the paviciers? Where are all of the units? But he was investing those resources into getting into age 4. And he has successfully pulled off the FI versus Revnak's Aztec, which is the best civ in the game. And now he can send the incredibly powerful Bersaglieri. I know it's Italian for rifleman, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So I'm just going to say rifleman. 12 are on the way, 5 are being trained, and now the Aztec army is going to be looking absolutely pitiful because these guys will pick apart the Prowler Knights. Now, yes, the Arrow Knights can do nice damage to siege, but if these riflemen get into rage, they will wreck these Arrow Knights. Now, interesting move here by Suhope. He's sending the Papal Bombards, which will do very nicely at taking down this forward base, but there are a lot of Arrow Knights coming out from Revnak, and good on Revnak. He knows what's coming. He knows he's probably going to have to be dealing with Bombards, and he's making the appropriate counter. But the thing about these riflemen that's so good is that they are guards immediately. Okay, these guys get shadow teched, and they are such a good unit. 180 HP, 24 ranged attack, and 25% ranged resistance. They are disgusting. Now, what do you make here if you're Revnak? Obviously, you have to try to go Coyote. I feel like if you go Ententans, the trading is just going to be absolutely abysmal. And even though Ententans are made to be expendable, you just won't get anywhere. But these two noble huts, they are going to be putting down a nice bit of punishment on these riflemen, though the Papal Bombard going to take one of these out very quickly. 430 Bombard attack. These guys, not the best artillery in the game, but against buildings, they are very efficient. These Prowler Knights trying to get a little sneak around, but whether it was luck or whether it was just good intuition, looks like Suhope is going to pull back, which is the perfect time because it did look like Revnak was kind of ready to collapse there. And now we see Red Sea Wagons coming in. He did get the native post, which I think is also another smart move from Revnak. He's not panicking. He's continuing to play this well. But Suhope definitely has him on the back foot here. And I don't like to show favoritism in games, but I will admit 110% I am rooting absolutely for Suhope here. I think rank 108 beating rank 1 would just be freaking fantastic. So we'll have to see. I mean, he's definitely not out of the woods yet. He's got 25 villagers versus 37 for Revnak, though the amount of Lombards he's getting out is pretty good. 80, no, not 80. 70 Lombard, or no, how many Lombards does he have? I keep thinking Lombards are population, but they're not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he's got 5 Lombards out still. Hasn't lost any of them. And he's now also got a factory, keeping the Bombards safe. I like that. I like him holding back the Bombards. It'd be so tempting to pull those in with you to try to take out these buildings, but he's trying to wait. He wants to, A, try to take out some of the Arrow Knights, and B, he wants to make absolutely sure he knows where that massive Prowler Knights is. So a really nice move there from Suhope. And he's certainly not playing this like a rank 108. He is playing this quite well. Though I must admit, Revnak's Aztec, it's looking a bit janky, if I'm being honest. Like, that age 2 Jaguar pressure just didn't really seem very effective. Like, I wonder if he had just gone full boom mode like Kinesi tends to do, would he have been better off? And I think the answer is yes, if I'm being perfectly frank. But that's just one guy's opinion, and it's a noob's opinion. So take it with the most massive grain of salt that you can imagine. And let's take a look at what Suhope has sent. He sent 2 Papal Bombards, sent the Factory, he sent Usuri, which is going to improve his Lombards, and he has also sent Garibaldini, which is going to improve not just his riflemen, but all of his ranged infantry. So getting out those Age 4 cards, and he's still got plenty of Age 3 cards as well. So it's not like he is exhausted for options here. I mean, he could send 9 Musketeers. That wouldn't be bad. 2 Falconets. He could send infantry hit points. He could send the Lucan Financiers if he needs extra wood. So we'll have to see. Wait, does that give you wood? Deposits a greater amount of wood into your Lombards. Yeah, so, I mean, it would help. And now the riflemen are pushing out, and it looks like Revnak has gone with elite slingers, but look at this. Just the trading, the extra range, the extra damage, and the guard upgrade, it makes these slingers pretty impotent. I feel like all the damage there was from the huts and not the actual units. Meanwhile, Revnak, he's continuing to make slingers. He's still got arrow knights, and he really can't stop making arrow knights. He knows that the 2 Papal Bombards are still out, so he can't do a full composition switch. He's got to at least keep some of that production up. But now look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Suhope going with the 3 Lancers. And what does Revnak have for anti-cav? He does have Prowler Knights, and he's got some Eagle Runner Knights as well. So these Lancers, this could be a make or break deal for Suhope. If he throws away these guys too easily, that could be the shift that Revnak needs. But, I mean, Suhope looking very good here. He's got about a 2K score lead, though that's not that huge. His Basilica, I think this thing has been repaired like twice now. And I mean, Revnak keeps bopping in, doing damage. And I mean, like, Suhope's not going to run out of resources here. He can start heading down this way. He's still got hunts. He's still got a coin mine, and he's Italy. So it's not like Revnak can just sit here and starve him out. And meanwhile, that Age 4 advantage is just continuing to build. And Revnak, he is not going up to Age 3, or excuse me, Age 4 anytime soon. In fact, his resource count is quite low, which is really good, right? He's keeping that resource count low, but it means that trying to catch up technology-wise with Suhope is not going to be happening anytime soon. He does have a second town center, and he's at 62 villagers versus just 44 for Su. So that is a big advantage in Revnak's favor. Not saying he's out of this by any means. And now the Arrow Knights are coming in. Are they going to get some decent damage? That War Chief is going to go down for like the 4th time, which every time he kills that, he gets 100 XP, so that's not insignificant. Slingers trying to get engaged, Lancers trying to get on the Slingers, but the Eagle Runner Knights coming in as well as the Prowler Knights at the right time. And Suhope, he can't push in too hard here. But I think the reason why he's pushing in so far with his infantry, and I think this is actually a smart move, he's pushing in to check the Arrow Knights of Revnak. If he just hangs back, he won't be able to utilize his bombards. But by pushing in and using his infantry as a wall, he's giving himself enough room to start taking out some of this infrastructure, which is what he needs to do. And what are these? He's got veteran Royal Musketeers. Did he send the Bourbon allies? He did. For 1,000 coin, you get 25 Royal Musketeers. These guys are insane. 192 HP. They have 26 ranged attack. Their pistol attack, which is their charge, is 52. They've got 24 hand attack, and they've got a 40% melee resist. Far better than the standard Musketeers. And he's got 25 of them for 1,000 coin. The amount of value that gives. And now we've seen 2 noble huts go down. We've seen a war hut go down, one desperately trying to get up, but it is not going to happen. And now these guard units are just going to start dumping on Revnak's Age 3 army. The Arrow Knights aren't going to get anywhere near these bombards, which are continuing to lay waste to the FB. And now we've even got villagers going down. 52 for Italy, only 60 now for Revnak. The gap is closing. The Arrow Knight's going to try to get on the bombards, but they're not going to be able to do it. Prowler Knight's going to try to intercept as well, but they're going to go on so quickly to these bugle-tooting riflemen. Meanwhile, the Royal Musketeers not even involved. They're saying, hey, you guys got that. We'll take out this. TC is going to go down for Revnak. And yes, the bombards go down, but at what cost? They have certainly gotten their value by now. Slingers going down. Arrow Knight's going to start now going down as well. And also, they don't really have much to aim at this point. There's plenty of siege with these veteran Royal Musketeers to continue pushing in, and more riflemen are going to continue flooding. And with this 2-unit composition, As long as these musketeers stay alive, there's really going to be nothing that Revnak can do. And now these Arrow Knights are going to fall. And these Arrow Knights, they're not cheap. They're 130 resources, most of that being coin. And now the plus 14s are just getting disgusting. Revnak's army going to be completely cleaned. And now oh no, one Papal Lancer is still online, which is absolutely insane. Now, he is pushing in very, very deep. And if Revnak were in H4, I would be really worried about pushing in this far. But seeing as he's not, and Revnak's exhausted all of his big resource shipments, or all of his big unit shipments. He's sending 13 Ententons now. But I mean, what is that going to do against Guard Riflemen and veteran Royal Musketeers? It's going to do absolutely nothing. Another Noble Hut going down. These things are 300 resources apiece. A War Hut going down, that's 250 resources apiece. And you have to wonder, building all of this infrastructure, what effect is it having on Revnak's economy? And the answer is, it's having a heavy effect. Now, he does have a lot of wood in bank. He just sent, oh man, he just shipped like 500 of it. Not shipped, but he just spent like 500 of it. Oh, he's going into Coyote Runners, which, I mean, Suhope is making veteran Hussars. I don't know. It's not going to be enough, though. Oh my god, he went with veteran Halbs. Where did he get those from? He made veteran Halbs. Oh my god, he's playing 5D chess, Suhope. And now the Bergs are just continuing to take out this infrastructure. Musketeers going to flank the Slingers. And honestly, I don't know why Revnak hasn't called GG yet. I mean, I know he has a reputation for sticking it out till the very end and heading to the corner of the map sometimes. But at this point, like, even if you try to wall up in the corner, what are you going to do? You don't have the age advantage. You don't have the eco advantage. And at this point, you don't have the unit advantage. And so, yeah, all of this infrastructure is going to go down. A ton of houses going down. And now, yeah, look at this. Suhope, confident enough to even start claiming these forward hunts. Basically saying, yeah, this is my food now. What are you going to do? Now, most of, well, I was going to say most of the Royal Musketeers have been dealt with. But I can't even say that because, I mean, there were still what, like 14 of those guys alive? And I mean, look at how many Guard Riflemen were built up, 27. There is nothing that Age 3 Aztec can send to rectify that sort of disadvantage. He's even starting to build a farm. And ladies and gentlemen, the underdog has emerged victorious. Suhope, who is currently, at the time of this recording, rank 108, beating rank number 1. And he beat him as Italy against Aztec, the best civ in the game. I don't know if you can ask for a much better fairy tale ending than that, but let's take a look at this game in a little more detail. Follow me to the post game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the post game and incredibly close in terms of resources gathered. And when we look at the military, also really, really close. But the two stats that really jump out at me are that Suhope killed 189 units, whereas Revnak only killed 105. And then Suhope only lost 1 building. Revnak lost 18. Now let's pretend all of those buildings are only 100 resources, so they're all houses, which they weren't. That's still a 1,700 resource deficit. And when you throw in the fact that a lot of them were 300 resource noble huts, or 250 resource war huts, I mean, the deficit in terms of resource expenditure, that's crazy. And it's a stat that a lot of people don't really look at, but it is still an important stat because when you got to keep rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding, it does drain your economy quicker than you might expect. Now, in terms of Vil raids, not really a lot at the start of the game, and that's why I think that early Prowler Knight pressure just wasn't good. I mean, maybe against other civs it would be better, but against Italy, which already is very in their base anyways, maybe, a better option is there. Not saying it's terrible, but it just doesn't seem like the most optimal in that matchup. But I mean, all credit to Revnak. He was building a great economy here, topped out at 67 villagers, but then by the end, after all of those guys died at the forward base, he was down to 50, and meanwhile, Suhope actually he flipped it. He went up and got an 11 vil advantage when he was at like a 15 vil advantage or disadvantage before. That's actually kind of crazy. But honestly, guys, that could not have been a more fun game to watch. I mean, you always got to root for an underdog, right? Everybody loves a good underdog story, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. But guys, thank you so much for 100 casted matches of Age of Empires 3. And until match number 101, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.